Gun fan, thanks for tuning in. It's the Gun Brother. Welcome to Guns and Beer. Today we're gonna get into this Tyreek Hill thing that happened over the weekend, and quite frankly, ain't none of y'all gonna like what I got to say because everybody's wrong. But let's get into it. All right, so today, Headroom, Trillium Brewery up in Mass, one of my favorite breweries. This is a double IPA, so let's get into it. So by now, everybody's seen some sort of version of everything that happened. And you know me, I'm just trying to break it down objectively, look at everything that happened, and see what we can learn from it. That's just what I do. Cheers. So tying this into the part that I'm usually talking about is usually because traveling with firearms. I'm tying this in with this traffic stop simply because then we get into a whole use of force situation that happens and it just needs to be talked about. So that's why I wanted to touch base on it. So let's take a look at it, and I'm starting it from the chase, and then we'll go back and break it down. So let's get into it. There goes Tyreek right there. And he was getting it. Tell him to pull over, come to a stop. He tells them to move up. You see the signs to the stadium, so you know they're on the road to the stadium. And you pretty much know when you see a car like that, it's 9 times out of 10 at that time of day, it's one of the players or something like that. So we already got opinions, background noise, everybody thinking they are who they are for whatever reason. So here we go.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Knock on my window like that, no.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here.
Don't knock
That
on
way you
my
can lower it and talk to
Just
you.
get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm gonna be late, gang.
All right. If you saw his interview, first thing he said was he was respectful the whole time because that's how his mama raised him, and that's how he is. I would not call that respectful. Wouldn't exactly call it super disrespectful, but it's not respectful. It's not, officer, what can I do for you? It's not even just, what am I being pulled over for? Don't knock on my window like that. That's not the way to kick it off. Now, that sets the tone for everything else. Before y'all start teeing off on me, no, it does not justify any use of force. Nothing that he says, that's not a threat at least, nothing that he says should even make an officer feel the way that this officer felt. So it really does seem like this officer came to the situation with something already going on, because he has a phrase that he says during this altercation or during this event. He says it 2 or 3 times. We'll talk about it when we get to it. So right here, this is like, Tyreek is like 50-50 on what he said. He wasn't totally respectful, but then what he did say was like, man, write me the ticket, do what you got to do, I got to go. So from his perspective, him being who he is, he felt like, you know, I got to go, this is what I got to do, boom, 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 go ahead and write the ticket. Now, from an officer's perspective, from somebody that has to serve the public or do what they got to do, and quite frankly, put up with the shit that they put up with. And we see this in all kinds of service areas where Chipotle, McDonald's, people treating service workers or people that serve them with disrespect. And sometimes, man, that person gets to that day where it's enough. They've had enough. I'm over with it. And it seems like this officer was there this day. He was over it. He was like, man, I ain't playing these games. That's what he said. We're not playing these games today. He's going to say it when they get to try to open the door. So, in some aspects, everybody's human, man. You can't blame people totally for being human, but at the same time, you gotta treat people with respect. I don't care what they do. He pulled him over. He was legit. It was a legit pullover. You saw how fast Tyreek went by. So it was a legit stop. So to treat him with disrespect about it, you were speeding. Own up to it. Let it ride. You should have been respectful from the beginning. I'm not, and this is the other term that I hate y'all comment people, and this is not what I'm saying. The term bootlicker, you know what? Before I started doing this stuff online, I never even heard that term before. So no one should have to do that either. That's not what I'm saying. But a baseline, 0 on the number line, negative this way, positive this way, 0 on the number line response of respect, a greeting, what can I do for you? That's all I'm saying. Don't be tapping on my window like that. Don't be banging on my window like that. Nah, that's, and at the same time, like I said, the officer mate came up ready to rumble for real in a way. So let's let it play.
Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey!
Now, so that just ticks the officer off, rolling up the window. Can he roll up his window? Sure he can. It doesn't even look like his tent's even that dark, so, because normally we would say the officer can't see in the vehicle, so for officer safety, keep that window down. Nah, now it's just the point of the officer wants to give a command, and he wants the command to be obeyed, and then we just spiral out of control from there.
Keep your window down. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Now, right there, if you
Get out
hear
of the
it,
car.
Give me that, we'll break that freaking window.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not.
he says, I'm getting out of the car. He lets the officer know. He said, I'm getting out. I'm finna get out. I think at that time he was making a call to Drew or whomever he was trying to call. But he also said he was getting out of the car. But the officer didn't have any patience with that.
We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out, get out.
And that's where they was like, I'm pretty sure he's like, I'm not playing no games. They get the door open. Now, as this door opens, to me, this is the line where the officers just totally crossing line. This was totally unnecessary, and that's why I was like, both sides gonna hate me for this, because I think Tyreek was out of line at first in how he was addressing the officer, but at this point, you will see his leg come out of the car. His leg is already out of the car. He was getting out of the car. He told the officer, I'm getting out of the car. There was no reason for them to grab him at all. And that's where they crossed the line. And that's where I think the whole thing just went south. Okay? So just let it run.
Get out. Get out. Damn. What part of blood are you in this town? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out,
You
bro.
understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you. You're a little fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
He's not resisting. Both his hands behind his back.
Yeah, bro, do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone.
And what's crazy is, can you imagine if he had gotten hurt during this? That'd have been crazy.
You know my money like y'all crazy,
Get him up. And this is the second part that
You know my money like
just wasn't
I
necessary.
ain't do nothing, twin.
He's up. He's cuffed. He's not a flight risk. He's not resisting. When he tells him to sit on the curb, he kind of bends his knees, but he's trying to ease down because he says he just had surgery on his knee, and then they jump on that. They have no patience here, and that's where we get into the whole social aspect of this. When Hill did his press conference later, he was talking about how, what if he wasn't Tyreek Hill? what would have happened to another black man, but what if he wasn't black? They wouldn't have done this to a white guy. I'm 100% positive. They wouldn't have done this to a white guy, and I don't care what you say about it or how you feel about that comment, they wouldn't. The patience level is way higher, the tolerance level is way higher, and they just wouldn't have treated this situation like this, okay? And we can all, and we talking about non-famous white people. We can pull up a million videos of white people cracking the window, talking through the window, talking reckless, saying whatever they want, and nobody's window is broken, nobody snatched out the car, nobody's detained in this manner. And those videos are all over the internet. So this particular incident did not merit this much use of force, period. It just didn't. So that's my opinion on that. I'm sure I'm gonna hear about it in the comments one way or the other, because I do maintain that at the beginning, Tyreek, what he was saying was unnecessary. He didn't have to go like that. And my point of that is all of these videos that's going around like that. I don't have to roll down my window. I don't have to show you my ID. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. As far as I'm concerned, you're setting yourself up for failure for the whole event. And sometimes that ends up in somebody's death. This is where people always get me wrong. You saying we got to do this, we got to be bootlickers to not to avoid. What I'm saying is, whether the cop is right or wrong, somebody's not here the next day because of the interaction that didn't have to be that way. And until we get to a point where policing is on a level that socially equal, I guess that's the way I can put it. Until we get to that, yeah, you come to my window, man, and say, what can I do for you today? Plain and simple. You know you were speeding? No, I didn't. Okay? And then I do have my concealed carry. It's on my right hip. My license is in the glove compartment. What do you want me to do next? That's my response. And I'm here. Now, the other thing about that is that I can say, I've been here too. I've been snatched out of my truck. I've been for no reason. I'm talking, the cop rolled up on me with my front windows down, Ford Expedition, and he said, why are your tents so dark in the rear? It's like, bro, they're factory tents. I've had systems stolen a couple of times, so the rear tents are dark so that you can't see it. Oh yeah? Get out the car. That's what happened. For tents. Snatched out the car, put on the ground, gun to my head. So that's just one instance. That happened at the east side in DC. Everybody in DC knows what I'm talking about. So I've been here too. So yeah, I can talk about it. I don't care what you say. I've been there, and I've also learned to handle it a different way. And that's all I'm talking about. So with that being said, Gun Brothers out. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I will see you next time. All right.